to give you an overview of just how crowded this room really is as I pan through the stacks of things. There's a closet. Above the closet where we have some things stored. I'm accumulating boxes for the move, even though it's probably not going to materialize for another 6 months. Some ledgers from the village, other boxes. The fan that I have running all the time, carried during the 1955 centennial. Copy machine. This is more of the crowded area. The table of tools, retrieved from a dumpster. Photo of Joel Matteson. Money changer from the bank. Small car. Camera that came from Mahler's garage. Corn sheller. The sink area with the counter piled full. Some area display with moving pages. 2 of our other display cases, an arm of a mannequin. A view from the other side of the room, again showing the crowded condition and where hopefully the bell will go.
We're in the maintenance garage, Matteson Elementary School on Main Street, and I helped my 2 sons, Jeff and Jake. We leaned the bell backwards, and we slid the dolly up underneath it, and with the help from the Village Public Works, we used a lift truck, put it on the back of the lift truck, and brought it on over. And it's here for a permanent display as soon as we move into our new facility here.
This is December 6, 1993. I'm standing in the new museum space, which has just been vacated last week by the Matteson Library. We're looking into one of the storage areas that may be used for the storage of cloth and clothing, hats, and other things like that. I'm panning down toward the end of the room. There's the entry door that we will probably be using. Our board of directors did meet here last Thursday evening for the first time to look at the space. We have been given a number of items by the library staff. Joyce Willis has designated the tables that are here, the one in the distance. And it shows a very large area that looks like it's going to be immense and very nice. Okay, now standing in the hallway, which was used by the library, has also been left to us. Way to the far end, where we hope we may be able to locate the hand-pulled postcard. I'm now in the room, which is going to be the work area for the Historical Society. Panning this area. There are cupboards in here, and we hope to have more cupboards located below them. The blackboard on the entry to this room will be removed, and this is where we will be installing a sink area, doorway of what was the library magazine and paperback book room. They have left us all of this shelving, which will become our storage room. This is currently very dark. It's the hallway which connects this wing of the building to the other wing. And another table that has been left for our use. The sink, the washroom, and this is the possible area for the postcard and pumper. We need to check with the fire department. 11th, 1994. You can hear the pounding. This is the first hole being made in the concrete wall for the installation of our central air conditioning duct. holes were cut in the roof yesterday, January 20th, on a really cold day. This is two of them on the far end. The other two holes are down on this end. You can hear the drill working to cut a lag. The ducts are standing up, all in a row, waiting to be assembled and put up onto the ceiling in the hallway. We just missed having a video of the cherry picker here when they lifted the units on top of the roof, but we're panning the way they look now on this very cold, snow-covered day.
My head going. And he brought with him Old Bailey. Now, when I say Old Bailey, it's not his wife. His wife is here too, and her name is Mary. And we're very happy to have both of you here.
Thank you very much. My name is George Anderson. I was born in Glasgow, Scotland in 1813. I came to the city of Chicago in 1845, and I died October the 30th, 1887, and I'm buried with my family in Oakwood Cemetery on the south side of Chicago. I want to talk a little bit about the city of Chicago when I first arrived. It was a long, hot, dry summer, that summer in 71. They had very little rain. And those 300,000 people living in the city were in constant fear of fire. The prairies west of town, which stretched out as far as the eye could see, were often ablaze with fire. And the inhabitants of Chicago lived in daily fear that something terrible was going to happen to them. Because, you see, it was a wooden city. All the houses were wood. The streets were paved with wood. The sidewalks were wood. They burned wood for fuel. I don't know if you knew it or not, but at that particular time, Chicago was the largest producer of wood products in the entire world. All up and down the north and south branches of the Chicago River were these huge lumber mills, and there was stacked lumber everywhere. And ships were tied up in the river, all loaded with lumber, dry as tinder. And so the people knew that they were living on the verge of something terrible happening to them. The fire actually began on Saturday in the western portion of the city. It consumed about 4 blocks. The firemen had worked long and hard and put that fire out, but they were tired and exhausted, and some of their machinery had broken. And when they went home that night, they prayed that God would not send another blaze along. But you know what happened. About 9 o'clock on Sunday evening, back behind the O'Leary's house in a barn, a small fire started. Now, I know the story that Mrs. O'Leary went out to milk her cow, and the cow kicked over the lantern and caught the hay on fire, and it started. I don't think that's a true story. First of all, if you've ever lived on a farm, you don't start milking at 9 o'clock in the evening. That's already over with, right? I remember that from a kid. We milked at 5. We didn't wait till 9 o'clock. I'm going to show you the ram's head. He's a terribly ugly thing. But just because of who he is, he's wonderful. He's adorned with silver, Cairngorm stone. He's really a humidor. He has wheels on the bottom, and at the annual banquet, they would wheel him along the table, and you could either have a cigar, or you could have a pinch of snuff, or you could pat him on the nose for good luck, and pass him along to the next guest. It's my pleasure. I don't know how old he is. He's now more than 100 years old, we know. But it's my pleasure to show you now Old Bailey, the mascot of the Illinois St. Andrews Society. Isn't he a beauty?
It is firing up the units, which means wiring it. I have learned this is the unit on the outside of the building. This is the fourth one. He's been up here for several hours. Okay, this is the first night of our volunteer cleanup crew. Then Owen hard at work vacuuming. Refreshment shop. Okay. We have Yvonne down at the far end sweeping.
12 minutes for that?
No,
Sure.
I'll be a couple of minutes.
No, oh, yeah.
Backus is our chief backboard of hold after the blackboards have been removed. Harold is taking on the job of rolling the paint. This is priming the space behind one of the blackboards. Finest doing the edging in of the white paint.
All the cutting in I've done.
Cutting in. Okay, now you're... I see your smiling face. Move your brush. We have some expert painters here. If they weren't expert before, they're going to be expert when they get through with this job. Dale smiling at her painting, at his painting. Right. Fran is painting the last of the ductwork. Okay, this is the sink, the three-partition sink. And the counters that we're going to be using next. Joe is changing the lock on one of the doors and saying, will you hold this? Glenn and Fran are working.
There you go. Look, Frank.
And they're supervisors. This is how we get our work done. But it's fun.
How's that?
That's good.
Close the June, we had this one.
Okay, keep talking. Oh, I thought it was the heat from the pipes or something.
Well, it's hot in there.
Yeah, I know. I cleaned the one.
Down in the back here.
I cleaned the one in the... Seeing the glass.
Come up here and tell us about Elliott's Park, some of the other interesting things that he knows of the historical part of Matteson. And we're just thankful that you're with us tonight, and we're looking forward to an interesting talk. Please share with us.
Hi, I'm Dana, and we're going to do this in a very informal way. The whole story, the potato, the best part of the family is underground, so we're off and running now. These are the old beer mugs from Elliott's Park. Now, even back then they had false bottoms in the rascals. I'll pass them around, and you can take a look at them. And believe it or not, beer sold for a nickel a glass here. That is the open area where they had meetings, forums, and everything. You can see the merry-go-round on the corner. Now here's the same section where there's action. There's a lot of people there. What was going on, I have no way of knowing. But they used to have Scotch picnics, Union picnics. Is the IC before it was elevated. It was 2 lines, and now they're back down to it again. We have some pretty fancy parades around here, too. And these are pictures of some of the floats that were decorated by the different churches, different organizations. It's funny when you look back through the old clippings and see what happened when Harriet Chevelle, that's who James Elliott married, first came to Chicago. There were about 800 people there. That was the biggest Chicago was. And she went out to play and came back in about 20 minutes later and told her mother, there's an Indian in the ditch out there and he's dead. So they had to go call the constable, and the constable had to get a mule to get the Indian hauling out of there and bury him. But that's the way Chicago is, and my great-great-great-grandmother did.
So we could stay here longer and keep picking your brain. I'm so glad that we're, thank you. Let's I'm glad we could videotape this because it highlights the need of oral history and to capture some of this history on tape. I think it's very important. And it's very interesting, and it's a joyous occasion for us because it marks our anniversary every year. And besides having a regular meeting, a special speaker event, we're also going to have some gifts, birthday party, and then of course some refreshments. So we welcome all of you here. You're sitting in the results of a lot of love and tender care and a lot of hard work. I know that you're very impressed as we are with this room, which will be our museum room, and we're just thankful for the many hours of volunteer work that this room represents. So, but we're not quite finished, and we look forward to the big move, as it were, here, and make this presentation presented to James Bell for successfully serving as president of the Matteson Historical Society during the years of 1993 and 94. Thanks for a job well done. Thank you very much. Why don't you give her the names? Starting with,
Remind me some of the Westwood I've seen. You know, they Boston outside. And it's a eggshells, it's named by Homer Offer. So pretty.
If you visit one, it's about 100 years old. Very lightweight.
I can still get pictures of them, but I think it might.
It looks like sort of like seeds, but I don't know what it is.
It's 100 years old.
And it's still good. It's still this level. With my dad, Emo Wallberg, and I remember him using this several times. He did a lot of remodeling, and my mom and dad lived over on Detmering Street when they were first married. Mom being very proud of this. And it does come open. It's very hard to put back in unless you kind of play with it. But I remember my mom taking pictures with this and being so proud that she had this. And I do have some pictures from it someday when I go through them. I made part. Matteson Historical Society has a, we call it the Detmering family tree, but it actually starts with the Sunkel family back in 1789 in Germany. And to when they came here, when the original home site was on Governor and Sunkel Road, right across from the Speedway. And Fran had a very good suggestion and passed that I'm going to Xerox at work, and then I will give a copy of this. I'm sorry, I will not part with the particular book, but I will Xerox for it.
Thank you.
I brought a vinegar cruet. This was my mom's, so it's pretty old. I've never used it. So I had it sitting there, and I thought, oh, I'm going to bring that tonight.
Oh, you have these. You probably have. I found it in my sister's drawer after she passed away. Here's Matteson from 125 years. Here's another one from 100 years. And then I also found a shoe button hook.
Yeah.
They use that to button the shoes.
This is up at a yard sale probably 20 years ago.
My mother said that this was the most unfavorite job that she and her brothers and sisters ever had, that the rug went out in the backyard once a year, and they beat them, and the dust would really fly. So this is a historic.
Weren't those things used on men too?
This is a Landrecht cross. You all bought from the door-to-door Landrecht man, right?
Mm-hmm.
No?
Sure.
I can,
Go ahead,
in
go
a
ahead.
minute. The way I sort of set up the idea for the museum to start with, not that it should stay this way, but this is the Detmering bar, the original bar that we had purchased. And we also have a couple of chandeliers and one of the square tables and a chair that they played cards on. For speaking tonight, We're giving Dana Elliott a sweatshirt. He asked for a size medium, and we don't have one. Can he make do with a large?
Yeah, I'm gonna grow into it.
And a medium t-shirt?
Oh, Lord. Refreshments, and Yvonne has set up a very nice table. And you're all welcome, and thank you again. Help yourself.
Someone needs to be first. Oh.
Glass?
Yep.
Okay.
Office area. Now, we don't know what is happening. Give me a screwdriver and a hand. Keep it in the back.
Well, they turn the thumb wheels to it.
Office moving gang,
Yeah. It's not that heavy. I think we've got it. If you get that. Okay. Now,
This one's a marble. Perfect. Marble in the drawer.
Now bring it back.
Yeah, that should do it.
all right. So, put behind there. Okay.
Not in front outlet. Joe is putting 2 more outlets in this wall, and something in that wall, and open sink. Looking for a box with some clothes in it that I could have sworn was here. But this is it. And I think we have left it, they can't say we don't lose that. I know how.
And the bar.
Leave like 4 feet in between them.
And I need the items put in there for me for the new power. So, hurry.
He also said that the fire due in one whole page of old fire department, one whole page new fire department. You buying an ad.
Anyway,
Interview him.
I'm gonna run over now and get one. I'll be back. There's still stuff here to do, but I don't like you waiting. Now, you ruin that shirt. So, just for what? So when you take peeled off this shirt.
You don't know that shirt goes in.
Yes.
I was kind of waiting, don't think
Hey guys, finish the pizza. I'll be back.
Mike Gerke has been with the volunteer fire department since 1970. He's a lifelong resident of Matteson, and in fact, as this newsletter says, he was one of the first full-time people.
Hi, I'm Mike. I've been with the fire department, like it says, since 1970. Okay, tonight,